Call to order Thursday, June 6, 2024 meeting of the Springfield Commission. Commissioner Wall, Bernardi, Commissioner Peterson, Dorothy, multiple intervening this for president. Is anybody? Anybody need time to review the minutes? Okay, we're going to take a motion to accept the minutes of the May 16th meeting. So moved. Second. Is there any discussion on it? Motion. Hearing none, we call the roll. Yes. Nardi? Yes. Commissioner Judith Cole?
Staying.
Commissioner Zorzi?
Yes.
Commissioner Walter Cole? Yeah. Commissioner Nestor?
Yes.
So. That's just it's accepted. Okay, you have on your continued public hearing 9197 Chestnut, we will be here. No one here for you.
Petition I was asked for extension.
Just wanted to make sure so they sneak in on the check. I'm going to entertain a motion to continue the 9197 Chestnut Street to the 6th June 20th meeting. You'll move. Second. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none. Commissioner Nardi? Yes. Commissioner Judith Cole?
Yes.
Commissioner Zorzi?
Yes.
Commissioner Walter Cole? Yes. Commissioner Nestor?
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh? Yes, that's continued to the. Yeah. We have next new hearing is 66 Dartmouth Street. Okay. Anyway, yeah.
Are you listening?
How are you?
My name is Alex Lee. I live, this is on Alex, obviously I live in Ellington, Connecticut, 97 Reeves Road. This is for homeowner Alexander Willard. I'm sorry, Alexander Rowland, 66 Dartmouth. For installation of solar in the back / side of our house. Send over an email.
Yeah, that. Okay, so what do we? Right. I don't have that particular picture here. Okay, so just tell us.
Yeah, so we did an analysis at our property and she was in a better cost effective situation, with rising costs and rising prices, and she wants to move forward with solar installation. It's on the back side of the house, as you can see, the front is labeled front.
Okay.
Not visible from the street, can't really see it. I know that sometimes is important. This is my first one talking to you guys.
Well, I'll use the words minimally visible is what we're after.
Yeah, minimal.
So far.
Absolutely, so it's relatively straightforward. It's anything else you guys need to hear from me?
Yeah, conduit and the placement. Where's the
So
meter?
meter is right there. The conduit will be color matched and hidden. So every conduit work that we do, especially with properties like this, we've already went through and saw visibly the open attic space. So we're gonna hide conduit, no conduit. Everything is hidden in the roof and color matched down to match the meter.
Okay.
Color
match the meter color.
Conduit color matched with
That's the
side of
the house.
the house, yes.
Are these panels black?
They are black. Yep, they're black, yes.
Okay.
And her roof is, I believe her roof is charcoal. Black.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see. So did they have to put a new meter on it?
So the meter is up to date. She brought the property relatively, I'm gonna say the past couple of years, last year. So I believe they have to do an up to date, inspection of the meter and everything before purchase and so. It's all the purchase.
Oh, that will be.
I'm sure that there's a bush covering
Is
meter. Right,
it's that one right there? Right to the right.
right behind that tree.
Yes.
Keep going.
To the right of the
Yeah, you'll
house.
see it, you'll see it. In the next driveway, one more right there, and it's. It's very hard to see. The one time.
Wow.
To that.
You didn't bet your.
Yeah, right. Yeah, 2 years ago when it was taken.
So,
I have a picture if you guys want to see.
of what?
Oh, it's the exact thing with the side.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah.
I mean, you're hitting all the numbers here. Panels, panel in the back and the conduit, please. Imagine. Got an image from 2019. Okay. Trying to still there. Once we got. Yeah, beautiful inside, insides. The artist too. See it every day on the street. Really? Directly. And houses and stuff. You won't, I mean, even the siding roof, you're only gonna see it all. If you're going down the street,
You can scroll left and right. This is her.
that's what's existing there. Now, is this going just directly right next to it, or is it going back
So it'll be the meter and then directly next to it will be an inverter
under the window?
under the window, yeah. And the only conduit visible will color match the siding. Everything else will be hidden in the attic.
Anybody else want to see it? So. Any other questions? Any commissioners? Can you send me that? Yeah. Any other questions, commissioners? Like to open up some public commentary. If there's anyone here who wants to speak for or against this application, please pick the appropriateness and 6 Street, Springfield, for the solar installation. Or against. Seeing none, I'm going to close the public commentary. Enter a motion to accept the application for certificate of appropriateness, 6 Street, for the solar installation. That's pre-been. So moved. Second. All right, is there any discussion on that? That motion. On the motion is specific to the installation where your words are part of, become
Yeah.
part of the color, the hidden, if any of that changes, you got to.
Absolutely.
Any other discussion on that motion? We call the vote. Commissioner Judith Kroll,
Yes.
Commissioner Zerzi,
Yes.
Commissioner Walter Kroll.
Yes.
Commissioner Benson.
Yes.
Commissioner Walter, yes, Commissioner. Yes.
Thank you guys. Send it over to Alan. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, 213 Pine Street.
Oh, Victoria Ricker, 15 Summer Ave.
The application for appropriate construction. This is alterations. Maybe not really. Change
Yes,
it
no previous.
from the previous meeting. Okay, so just explain, tell us where you are.
So from the previous meeting, we changed the windows, they were together. The front windows, they were together and we separated them. We also changed from 2 entries to 1 entry. And this is based on Springfield Preservation Trust that wanted us to make it look more like other historic homes, other 2 families that are historic. They specifically pointed out 134 Third Wave Avenue, which is this.
So this is the before configuration with 2 doors,
Right.
side by side windows, and then cedar shakes on the 2nd floor. Then you can kind of see the window configuration on the sides. To be new. Here's the good version. So you have clapboard on the 2nd floor, windows are separated. It's a little variation in the placement of windows on sides.
And then to separate shaker siding from the vinyl siding, we added, I forget what that is specifically called, the little
Banding to separate the floors.
And because I'm like, it's the people's last, but is there any changes to the front porch columns or was that? It's not the same.
The columns are gonna be that style instead of the style that previously had, which also I don't think is shown on the previous, it's shown the same style. But in the list of materials, I have the colonial style, and instead we switched over to straight, flat, like a post, maybe 5-6 inches.
So I can't really tell by the red here what the difference is. They look the same, so.
They are
what you're
the
now, you're gonna have 4 posts, round 5-inch posts.
And previously, these kind of posts right here.
Oh,
So instead, we're gonna switch over to
and with
the ones that look like that.
with some decorative.
Yes.
And the railings are gonna be constructed. It may be answered by people, but. We
It's
could,
okay.
we could,
Vinyl. How, rail-
inside the rail. It's in the rail,
Yes.
top and bottom, that's the attached.
inside,
That's what I'm saying. Sorry, what was the material of the railing? Vinyl. Vinyl railing. Because that's one of the places we have issues sometimes. That piece of this, to it, curved,
Yes.
that, you would be able to make that out. You don't necessarily.
Well, not vinyl, that composite, that they sell up for people with those sets.
You have any? Might be here, any illustration of the falsified on the drawing? The railing may be manufactured there in your- In terms of any connection with the correction, what's the name?
ASAP. Yes,
It's not in very.
yes,
Then you can.
Yeah. both in the front and in the back.
Steps are,
They're also gonna be that too,
what kind of railing?
the same as the porch railings.
How many?
Steps don't have a railing, right?
They will, we're not exactly sure yet if it will be required to have the railings because, depending on where it's gonna.
How wide, I will say, I mean. One word over down, how wide? From the outside, right? And how about the edging and the corners of that? So,
The corners, unique corners,
The white ones.
the white corners. Yeah, they're gonna be white, it's about 4 inches, 4 or 5 inches.
the four, at least 4
Yes.
inches, the windows.
Yeah.
3 and.
The case,
They're all,
it says 4 inches, but it's usually a little bit, smaller.
Our architect is trying here. Any other questions here? Commissioners about buying issues here?
I would have the last meeting, but we were on, yeah, so we were allowed to buy a second.
We haven't actually voted on that.
Oh, okay.
She bought.
Saturday. Yes.
You have two different kinds going on.
Yep, and then this is the able section. Yeah. So it will be that,
Yes, please.
this will be.
Did you pass that along?
New. House next door to us is just getting new siding, so. And a couple of houses in our area, they also have a house and. So that's what we want.
And they're next door as well.
It's interesting. Final sign. Usually. Yeah, because that has an exact. What anybody else have? Somebody doesn't talk to the rest of it. Just in case you want to find that. Is there any more, is there any versions of this? No, that. Just. What color?
Yeah. The upper sections are gonna be darker colors, like the dark green, the dark brown, and then the lower tiles where the vinyl siding is, and the rest of the exterior is gonna be like a lighter version of this color. So a lighter brown, and all the windows are flat. Flat case.
Between the top and bottom red like that. Yeah. Because a lot of times you explain this to the builders and just going in and doing it there. So we're, so it comes on its side there. So, not just, not just overlapping on the front. Back and change. A lot of times they kind of maybe, it looks like it from the front. It's not captured. And then bottom, it's kind of the same thing.
To the Commissioner Walsh, again, speak about the direction and orientation of the works. Since that was an issue on Thompson Street.
Yeah, did we have a? Well,
Soon the houses.
just
One.
So we did it's laterally. Do you have that? Is that specified in here?
We were gonna go the long way like this. From right to left.
Yes. Have no, they have not specified. It's not a preferred.
Which, yeah, which was fine, was.
And like the step. Yeah. Steps.
Actually, kind of the way you have it in the sample, it's
Yeah.
Right, just depends on which direction of the point. If
Yeah.
you have one crossboard. And certain things, so if you're okay with making a specification that it will be. Any other questions, commissioners?
so. Al, thanks for drawing that. So that's one of my biggest concerns. So you're modeling the shakes with something, you're modeling platform with something. It's hard to see what those railings are gonna look like, and the porch is kind of like what the centerpiece of the wall is.
I can look up the photo.
If you have something, and do you know what color not the map, but do you know what color it's gonna be like?
This. I know this is just a picture, it's not what you say. This is just clearly a vinyl installation,
Yeah, it is.
which is. The railings, where the railing, how the railings attach, that's not normally acceptable. It's. The material can mimic, but it has to be attached. As opposed to have a little vinyl frame that stick it into the hole there.
So
Because
you
if
would,
when you're mimicking, it has to really mix. Yes, and this doesn't quite give us the. Give us the top. Just- We. No, I know exactly what you're saying. The top would have to be. The places. Well, that has a rail like this. Whereas the historic version wouldn't have with this flat part at the bottom would be flat. Underneath here.
yeah, well, what I was,
Those right up into the red.
so just top.
Even like your rendering just has. That, like basically the top rail, the spindles and then. Goes out of like a header.
And the reason we're being so particular is because in the past, we didn't get as detailed on the railings, they just threw. In any. So I want to make sure that the details we're discussing are very likely to happen. I mean, we don't, I think the changes from the last meeting to this meeting are really good, really necessary. Well, I think the house will look better than it would have otherwise, having a single door and some windows apart. It's gonna be like change. The side windows are, that's. I'm not sure why side windows changed. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, we had to move things over in order to make it. Things fit inside, yeah.
Do you have a picture of railing that meets our expectations?
That's what we're looking for. L's on it.
Might be helpful.
And here it says on floorboards and this is also perpendicular.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, it's perfect. You're in parallel. Well, that's not even. Yeah, I'm talking about the thing on top. You want the curve top? Yeah. While we're looking for this, anybody else have any other questions? Please ask them now. It's kind of related to that there. I think try to keep it moving down. As well. Other than that. I'm fairly satisfied with what we're forward. I just don't want that railing, not the wood that did it. Not so sure about the final side.
What's the material in the latch?
Also,
Also, they have a sample of that. So, a picture or something that's.
Yeah, and it's not, let's see, it's not boxed.
it's.
Well, yeah, it's not the diagonal. We do find diagonal or not diagonal around the historic districts. But usually it's framed around the entire. Framed around the
So like a picture frame.
picture frame. Where this just has framing at the top to be on the edge of the porch,
Oh,
so that last for has to have its own.
I understand, yeah.
Usually that you can do that and give it some firmness. So it actually looks pretty structured.
Any others? Want to draw another picture? Because we can move on this with the understanding that we will accept the constructed a certain.
Yes. One thing.
Go ahead,
Is
Commissioner.
the lattice going to wrap the sides of the porch as well?
Just that.
Yeah.
Okay.
stipulate that, she takes care of the appropriate lookalike code to them and when they have some.
We should, we could stipulate that. Are there any other questions for the commissioner? Keep that one. Seeing none. Given some of the stipulations we've made, but we know are going to send it over to this public commentary.
I just had a question before.
Yes.
Public commentary. In regard, let's say if the commission votes on the vinyl and they're not in favor, you have a secondary option,
For the siding,
deciding.
siding. Um, There's definitely other options, but we can't, our budget. Different options are just so drastically more expensive than the vinyl siding. So that's why we,
So it become a financial burden.
yes,
That's the vinyl sidings up. Second,
it is for,
first and second,
yes,
all the way around almost.
Way around it.
And the back, keep it back, so the only variation. It's very. It's the top.
yes,
So let's look at what is changed. The window, the door, stipulating to the shape of construction of the railing. The railing for the steps you're not going to do right away. If you don't do it, you still have to come with that design before you then put it on.
if we have to do
If you have to do the, if you find you have to do the railing at some point, you still have to come. But we won't approve a railing without seeing.
Oh.
See, this is where I'm, to me, now we're having a little, this is where I'm seeing, some of them are just that good part. So,
But you can, but it won't be enough to pick the finalist.
this is what. And what, does this kind of fit what we're thinking? So, make sure. That's it.
He's talking a heavier top and bottom rail.
I want you to
Yeah,
draw
that's
that.
There's standard sizes like that you can buy in standard shapes. But he's saying it's just not square. And it's better not to be square anyways, because water will sit on it. So it has a little curve to it. Let's start washing.
Okay, any other,
And the stipulation of the perpendicular boards.
which is. We go to motion. Those things. So. There's no other questions, petitioner right now, I'd like to open the public commentary. Is anyone here like to speak for or against? The 213 Pine Street. Construction of 2 new duplexes.
Hi, I'm Harry Seymour from 68 Washington Road in Forest Park, and I would like to speak for this proposal. I think it represents a big improvement over what we saw the last time. And I do think though, because it's new construction, that if someone could visit during the partial construction so that you see what the materials actually are and what they look like, I think that would be a good addition.
Thank you. Is there anyone else like to speak for or against this application? Seeing none, I'm going to close the public commentary. Can I entertain a motion to accept the application for certificate of appropriateness? Construction of new duplexes with the stipulations that the railings be constructed strong, that the flooring be perpendicular to the front of the house,
Perpendicular to the face of
to the face of the building. And that the lattice be framed. Am I missing anything else in this potential motion? Well, the siding is. I'm making, I'm illustrating a motion as if this was. If anybody would like to make that motion or any other motion relative to that, go ahead.
So
Okay. Is there a second on that motion? Second. Okay, any discussion on the motion, go ahead.
The building department may require that you have an additional vent up in the peak. Like this, because right now you're only venting a teeny bit into the roof edge along the top. So in order to get enough ventilation in the attic, it require that you have a vent.
That's true.
It's okay with the building department, any ideas?
No,
It's the,
Oh, they don't.
or it's gonna run.
it's, I know, I just wanted, they had, any.
Yes,
They had soffit vent, if they have sufficient soffit vent to the ridge vent, that would warrant not to have it, you have to have something sufficient. To vent that,
Right, but the wall between both units is right up to the side of the ridge.
well, I'm gonna have to,
But I'm just saying, if they do.
yeah, then you'll have to tell us what it is before you do it. Maybe, I would hope that somebody designing this would have that ventilation that designed properly. If you have to change the front, the look of the outside of the house, you have to come back. You can't just throw some up and hope it. Which is part of the reason we're being particular about the construction of the railings and boxing and things, because that's kind of said after the aspect boxes. Any more discussion? Any discussion on the siding? The issue? No? Hearing none? All right, let me go. Okay, two. Commissioner Drew Kroll,
No.
Commissioner Zorzi.
No.
Commissioner Wall. No. Commissioner Miss.
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh. Yes, Commissioner Nardi.
Yes.
We pass, and I'm not sure why, so, what are the reasons that we didn't pass because of the, what do you need to see? Is it the vinyl side?
For me, it's the vinyl side.
All right,
Trying to find all other elements of the siding.
Yeah, I agree.
so. I wish we could have jumped in on that earlier, maybe, but we can't about do what we just did, so still have to come to another meeting. With siding alternatives. So, because it takes 4 votes, no matter what, to pass. And that did not pass. But I still want to give them some direction coming back, because you solved almost all the problems that I could see.
So the real reason for the no was for vinyl siding.
You're in vinyl? Okay. And I actually didn't have as much of a problem as the lower vinyl, the wraparound vinyl and stuff, something that we more mimics what I would have been happier with. But you made a lot of great changes on it. So if you could bring us back an alternative at the next meeting, we can do that.
The next meeting will be July 18th at this point.
July 18th. That's all we can talk about today. Okay, next is 55 Emery Street. Gentlemen. Good evening. Good evening. Names and addresses for the record?
Shem Dodge. 4160 Chapel Ridge Trail, Mississippi.
Actually,
David Bornstein, 9 York Shore Court, Farmington.
okay. So where are we today? We have a stop work. Right here. So I think what we had asked was solutions for the doors. There another part of this application?
No, so this is the application here, which you see on the screen. So they want to change one color from gray,
Gray to white.
which was previously approved, to white. Installation of new canopy, and I think that's just on the Columbus Ave side of the structure. Installation
I
of
didn't do it right. I thought there was something there. You did the same business. Okay. Still front windows, rolls, Store both the renewal doors. Hardship is doorway to the homeless and front user seats and doors. Okay,
So this is everything with the exception of the sliding doors. They did add sliding doors, but I didn't put that onto the next year.
I thought there were a couple of things.
Yeah.
That we had talked about. Okay, so we had discussed the windows, we'll take this from the top, change in the window color, gray to white. That's not likely to happen because it's discussed completely in other meetings and explained and understood and then done. But there are other new people voting. Canopy. Do you have? No.
We provided some.
Yeah.
It's like we would be able to see.
Yeah, the canopy, I think is in a place where there was a canopy prior. Correct. And from my, is that what it's gonna be, just like that?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were gonna make it longer.
The previous one was.
Narrow, right?
We was narrowed and did that entry.
Because that from my site visits on the Great Island. Part of the issue with the stop work order was closing windows up. And that's, I think, that one of the main things we have to resolve is blocking out all windows. And I think even from the first site visit to the second was that more got blocked out than blocked out the first time. So, I want to say conciliatory though. There's a side there that reasonably is not visible from a public way. And which would be
So this,
right there. So those, while I would like them to look, bricked or something done, well, I'll let you know. If we did a site visit again, I think I think that's a reasonable thing that we not require those windows to be done. They, it's the high, not the highway, it's whatever streets, at East Columbus, but it's not, there's nothing there. There's nothing there to that's gonna see around that corner that I can tell when I was walking the sidewalks.
There's a portion.
There's a
here.
portion that,
That's rendering should show that.
okay, go ahead.
We discovered an issue today, and that's why we wanted to pose the two different options as a potential solution. So for our rendering, it does show our initial thought of showing all 9 of them being corrected and placing, however, the ones on the left are in a stairway, and due to the structural supports of the floorings changing, we've had to modify the stairwell and remove the stairs. We want to still utilize the space, so our intentions were to just put necessary framing to continue the floor. That would have the floor actually being right in the middle of the windows. So we've provided 2 different renderings, one at least showing them there, whether they're a faux window over place of a brick and or not correcting that issue, and at least correcting the 6 that are right that are highly visible.
I think from the visibility point of view, the minimally visible one, I would prefer it, even if it's a whole window or something that looks there, so that somebody driving still can see the window continuity. And if anybody jump in if you're thinking about this. The other windows. Info says here. Installation of new storefront windows don't exist, and if you're mimicking those windows, what was there already.
But those or that particular statement is more of what you're
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and if we go back to the first aerial when we were looking at the canopy, it kind of shows some correlation. Maybe the one before this, it kind of shows the relation with the windows, how they
Right,
were.
because clearly behind, we were on the inside,
Yes.
those windows were wide storefront windows, correct, correct, and our hurry is not to restore it to something that was before, if that's the way it existed for a period of time, we can replace it with that same kind of window. Correct. So that solves most of the issues that are close. You have a couple door issues, that door down there on the left. Just in the one around the corner. In renderings that we like to see something. There's.
So with the newer renderings, we believe we're providing at least 3 options that we thought may provide some solutions.
Okay.
So just to describe it, this is a doorway, there's 3 doorways, so
On the north end.
this is either north side, I'm sorry, the east side. Well, it's
Correct.
Well, it's-
The north side.
no, this is the east side. North is going this way.
No.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, the other ones. Straighten me out, I'll be okay. I got you. I'm back.
Now, this is facing the west side. This is the east corner south.
Right.
So these letterings are down. This has been halfway bricked up. Or blocked off, I should say.
One of them was kind of blocked out.
This is, we have some doorway, but it's kind of hard to see from here, but, there's a doorway here. Again, this is facing East Columbus Avenue. There was another doorway just behind this pole here that's been blocked off. And this is the non-historic portion of this doorway there. And this is probably the most prominent doorway. This is facing Emery Street. This is facing the north side. And again, these are just Google images. I think I may have the somewhere, but this has been partially blocked off as well. At least I think it's been boarded up.
We have boarded.
It's boarded up.
Yeah. It's boarded up the open.
What's happening with the brick? This is one of the tan color.
It's been painted gray.
It's
on the upper portion and
So that's more gray.
prior. Yes, sir.
So that story.
Yeah, so here's a picture of what it is, with us.
Sorry.
I wasn't here, here, but
Curved door, that one.
And this is.
Structurally, we didn't change anything, we just boarded it up so no one would be sleeping inside the indentation.
On sleeping right on.
Drugs,
Absolutely.
We boarded it up from the outside. It can easily, once we come up with the actual solution. Or it's going to help, I can as soon as it's done, we'll be able to take the report off.
the rendering show it being built in with brick though.
Potentially, that's one of the options that
But still keeping,
proposed.
and still keeping the inset, not changing.
So we're me, what you're going to do is, what you're hoping to do with that curve when.
So if we look, go back to that particular, maybe not that one, but that maybe it was more the Google Street View. I mean, if there is some depth from where that board is. So once we remove the boards, they're still arguably about 2.5 feet inward to where the door was. One of our options that we had, because security being one of the main issues, and then maintenance, our concept was to potentially just break the door itself, still have the depth, still try to show a lot of the architectural work that's done around it. And then potentially either once brick, take a fake door and fasten it directly to the block.
So it
to
was
still
weird to
retain
have the
image.
door and the architecture
Or
or decoration.
alternatively, that being one, or alternatively show something similar where we have the metal grate going across. So yes, it would be brick, it would still show the depth, but we would then just have the metal grate there. I mean, we're really kind of somewhat at a loss on the best way to secure it. If we just did the brick, for example, and I mean, we're always continuing the same brick because it's the sturdiest option. There are used storage units right on the other inside of that. But if we don't block them out at the outer perimeter, now it still becomes a cubby hole where people either sleep or whatever else. So, the brick solution, I believe, on an older imagery that we provided showed the brick all the way out to the outside. I know nobody here, and probably even myself, would want to see that. I get that. I fully do. So we were just trying to provide options. What if we break it out and brought another grade to still provide some? I mean, an absolute answer is just something that we don't have right now.
Well, that's closer to it. I'm more in favor of doors, security, make it the wall behind and we can ask to be. Just so when it looks like the old historic wall was there, sometimes you can actually use the old historic.
Unfortunately,
They were destroyed, trying to break into it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know
we
that
put
happens.
all day in the legs, we're not trying to find.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm in favor of the phone door. We know this has to be secure for you to do business.
And
But
these
if you just break
two
it up
would
and
be
put the
the
grate in
arch.
front of it, it's.
These two being arched, and we've got imagery that kind of shows how those windows or doors were. I think we can mimic that
Yeah.
rather successfully. The one challenge, however, now comes to the door opening on the other side where you don't have the arch, you don't have the depth necessarily. It's the way it was designed is different. It's actually designed to allow a storefront door. And that's probably the farthest thing that we would want. It wouldn't look like the other two. It wouldn't match
That would be
really anything.
back-
So
back one.
some type of redesign, which we were thinking, in this image, you have a ledge that protrudes out. We were thinking if we came in with brick and created an arch scenario, we could try to mimic this scenario from the other two. But it's somewhat challenging
Well,
on how to do it. So
Right, now are the windows to the left arch just like that bottom one? Yeah, they.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
Partly it's my. Well, not construction. If they haven't figured that out, but it seems like a simpler solution. Foot door things, because you see it's on windows, where you can't tell, especially on third floors sometimes. Can't tell it's not. It seems the most secure thing would be, with the most historic visual, would be a phone window. Whatever protection, whatever kind of wall you want to put behind it. If there's depth to it, just, and it's just finished, is that the original door was there?
Mhm.
If that's reasonable or not, I think that's what we're trying.
that's honestly, that would be our intent. Once again, the only challenge being this one, because the way it's designed is for a storefront. It doesn't look like the other two, so acknowledging that, I can get a square door. I think it would look out of place and wouldn't look appropriate. However, if we come back in with some brickwork to try to create this arch to make the other two, and that would probably be
Is that
in line with what we'd like to try to do.
Yeah.
Is that one of your potential?
That was an option, and I asked for my guy to do the rendering, I would remove glass, paint it.
Right. It's, and the gate, like the renderings here are, this just makes it, look. I know you don't mean having a grate like that.
No.
No,
It's
so
it's
Good.
full gate.
it's actually lattice when on the.
Yeah,
computer program. So,
So, So I want to go back to the list.
Grade across it. Would it be appropriate for it to look as if it were fence gates? In other words,
Yeah, I think that's what they were.
Well, I was proposing that either as an addition to, or maybe just a standalone option. So, and it sounds like you want the door, so we all agree on that, but now how do we address the cubby hole? And that's really what it means, right? It's an addition. Maybe it's
Basically a scissor gate that.
Right. rather than a scissor gate, and I know this was. But it was a storefront. What about gates that appear that they could be open? So that it looked more decorative than scissors. The scissor gate looks pretty industrial.
We were just trying to keep it basically.
Well,
what
it's
just
based on the way the photos, are.
Yeah.
We saw similar gates and that's what we would say that would be what would be there. If it's something.
For this one as well.
Well, it's that imagery there, is really not the only example that we have. So if it's incorrect, we're open to option two.
Well, you wanted to do higher than, that anyway.
We were proposing.
Which makes me think that this idea might be something you should look at, because then you don't have to mess with it. People aren't gonna get in there, it'll be very secure, maybe even more secure than what's there.
If we can see an option.
Yeah, I'm not sure where we might demonstrate some. It sounds like a reason.
It just looks less industrial, but.
Almost like a picket gate, you're saying?
No, like a wrought iron gate, right?
Right.
That might lead into a garden, might lead into a courtyard. But it's a little more decorative and goes with the arch more than the scissor approach.
You propose to go as high up as the door itself and the door window.
You could,
When we were talking about this, we'd like to at least come up off the bottom of the ground about a foot, so that way we can get any trash that gets thrown back there. As far as how high we go. But
We also did trash not different.
so if we, now how high up we go, that's.
I don't know the answer, I like the idea, but I don't know. Something.
Didn't we just do something similar for the juvenile court
Yes. That was,
because of the homeless people?
yeah, because they haven't done it yet, so. Right.
I thought it was like a background.
It was, they were putting up gates.
Yeah.
So they're out there that you can.
If we could, even for that portion, if we're at least allowed to do a brick and do the fake door facade, that would allow us to continue to proceed and then maybe table the alternative options and we could come back with some imagery on that. I'm imagining a lot of gate that's custom designed, if it's 8-inch gap on the bottom, it'd be the same at the top, it kind of match the arch. I'm assuming that's probably something.
there are several in town that you could
Yeah, if
see.
we see it, well, we definitely could consider.
So you're asking just to block it off temporarily and so you could figure out another option?
Well, our option is to break in the door openings as is, put a faux door over the front of it, that will allow us to proceed and then come back for.
For the gate.
I think it brings that a little different. You want to mimic the way it looks now with a wall behind, so.
Yes,
Just make sure. We're
I
talking
like the way you said it.
because that, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But the doors also have to be something. It has to be a door there.
We would just find old wooden reclaimed
You can-
doors.
you can get
and try to
Yeah.
reclaim it. That
Feel
was
somehow, I mean, that's, it's,
And are you talking about also throwing in the like transoms above the doors?
most certain. I think in these cases, it would look more appropriate now. If we were to zoom in, you could actually see the arch over.
Yeah.
So whether you do custom woodwork to create it, create the arch, I think we're open to that idea. The only thing that we're proposing is to remove the glass. And we had proposed maybe paint the brick behind it like black to look like a tinted glass or just something of that nature. Our biggest fear was we installed kept the glass in the doors, just someone's gonna throw something.
okay, no, full door, there's some, that's way.
But we would be able to do a transom, whether square or arched, and whatever the preference is, we'd be able to either option.
Okay. All right, so. That solution to me for those doors, that's okay. I'm not sure whether it's private to do that, but anyway, that particular thing, and then just remember that on these pages. If you find you can't do it, you gotta do it different, right?
So when we get the doors, can we present the doors to you prior to getting the doors? How do we do that? So we don't.
Yes. Let me say it that way, yes. But the concept of,
Photos of all the reclaimed doors.
well,
We can.
I'm not sure of the answer, but you'll be able to work.
Yeah, I
The
agree.
key is to get able to work. But without having those colors to go back and say, it's still, you know,
Like, sure.
yeah.
I doubt if I say it's gonna be a blue door and I paint it white, you're not gonna like that.
Well, no. That's a whole different issue than right now that the color of the door is not a.
Yes, if we can break it in and allow it to, we would commit to finding some older doors that we can reach.
Now, you have, you know, on the installation of the storefront window, when you have a rendering of those, are they gonna be very close to over there or exactly?
Basically what's.
There's actually a photo, an actual photo,
When you're looking at these, we're actually seeing through them to the storage area.
and that's
It's
there.
mimics that you're seeing through.
Yes.
Correct.
If we have scenarios on a different end of the building, on the non-historic end of the building, but it's a very sweet. We have those windows designed based on what we were expecting to have. to put
In all
place
these,
here.
all these windows that fit that shape and design will be beautiful.
Yes, correct. Yes. I believe we did provide the specs for each of those windows, so there's some slight variations.
Yeah. Well, of course, but uniform and.
Yes,
Mhm.
in styles.
Yes, and we basically did it based on what was there previously.
However, you can point out that on the first, second, third floor, I believe there's a transom above it, whereas the fourth, because of the height, it has been removed, and it's kind of real similar to the existing condition there. Since the fourth floor was an addition to, I believe, the historic side, you'll see arch windows on the upper three floors, but actually square windows on the top. So there's a slight variation, but it stays uniform throughout.
That is uniform throughout the whole historic area.
Yes.
All right, so we're actually making progress. So let's hit the hard head on here. Because I think in general, although the agents, just. Meeting like a dark here, commission. Please jump in and question. Why would I be thinking, they're thinking about what I need to know. They have like I said, the canopy, that canopy illustrator is not an issue for me. I'm not sure if anybody else feels the same. Storefront windows where they once existed, mimicking the same shape. It's also given me. I had suggested from a site visit that some of those that were bricked up are covered in like brick. I don't have a problem with it, because I don't believe that this is what they call it. And but those 9 windows, I think we have to deal with in some manner. And so let's hit the other thing. Yeah, that's not an other thing. That's just where we are. The other thing is the window color. And the reason that's important is going to be the hardest one for you. It's because in a meeting with all the discussions we have, it was clear that those windows would be a different color than they're in here. And I'm not of a position right now, although there's 5 other people that vote differently. I'm not in a position to accept the white windows because it was our intention at the first meeting. It was agreed that they would not be white. And then they were just put in and expected for us to accept it. So we felt during the last meeting as well. And I still feel that way about it. I don't know the solution color wise. I'm open to hearing solutions, whether it be lighter gray, a darker gray, something like that, to remedy the color change. So jump in on that if you'd like to.
I mean, I wish we have a photo that's kind of a little bit more from a distance. I don't know if that was provided soon. I mean, that would just be great because it really does illustrate the building itself, maybe a little bit better, but You know, in regards to the initial meeting, I know when we first presented and both are gray, I was actually the one that created that spec. In order by, I believe it was the attorney that we had at the time that was part of the initial conversation prior to acquisition.
Dark historical windows are historically dark.
I fully understand. As we were going through this process and knowing that the building was being painted gray, we started editing the renderings, right, mimicking more of what we were expecting.
Okay.
In doing such, we had the windows gray. And quite honestly, in our opinion, it began looking more like a prison and less like a historical building.
And I don't think I care for like a matte, the exact same color would not.
Well, that was
That's
actually.
not even that, that's not the same color.
Well, that sure looks the same color, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's intended
It's on
to be a
tape.
lighter gray. To go to a darker gray, we started getting more and more with the black tones and it still looked like prison bars. I mean, whether they're gray prison bars or black prison bars, it just looked like that. We felt like the white one would have been an alternative to, because it's a lot easier to paint over white than it would be to try to paint over black or dark gray into a lighter shade. So that was one of the at least justifications in our mind to proceed this route. But we also felt like, based on the renderings, it softened the building. It took away more of that prison look and made it more homey. So not that it's, I'm not saying that our intentions were good, or I mean, they were good. I'm saying maybe we were off, but we definitely had best of intentions there. Yeah.
Well, that's, I don't doubt that. So the problem is it doesn't change the result.
No, I understood.
And it's the results of us accepting that after that was, see, if that was a sideline or just something we maybe didn't talk about for a significant amount of time at that meeting, there might be a little different argument to be made here. But that it was clear, it was exactly what it agreed to do it. And then didn't do it. Then came back and said, oh, then we put in white. What do you think? And I apologize for this, but that means intent to me. Somebody made a decision and chose not to come back. It may not be true, but from the outside looking from here, sitting here looking, it feels that way. And because I had never approved the white in the first place. So I mean, I'm open to suggestion and other commissioners can vote differently or suggest differently. If someone's open to accepting the white without a table, so we can discuss it. But the hardest part about that is every other person we hold to the standard of not of just doing what we say. Now says, and so a lot of people who just buy houses don't have really any idea what they're buying a story house. They really don't know what they're doing. You guys are probably. And
This one, at least taken from a distance, kind of shows. Just kind of shows, I think, a little bit more appropriate with the size and the magnitude, and if everything is gray or black or some alternative color, and just the severity of how it'll kind of, my opinion, overtake some of the other features that otherwise be on the building.
Yeah. It becomes a big gray box when it's the same color as you can see on that window down at the bottom there. And even though it's a completely different color, in different light, it becomes the same color or a form of the same color, and it doesn't enhance the building at all. It actually works against it, and in different times of the day, it looks like a different color. They look like different colors.
well, I'm not sure where this is going, right? One of the things on my agenda, right, in my agenda up here, is you guys gotta get back to work. So if we could solve as many problems as we can in order to get you back to work, that's important to me.
Thank you.
But that is just, you gotta present it to a different solution than just accept. In my opinion, please.
We can, we'll be happy to take every shade of gray and paint every single window a different color until we find one that looks like. I just hate to do all that, get to white.
Yeah.
So your argument is that you agreed to the black or the dark gray. And in the renderings that you did artistically, you did not think it would be as a business choice, wanting people to come into this, felt as inviting as the white did. Is that it?
We felt like the white softened it up and it seemed more I guess really.
You said it looked like a jam.
Well, it definitely looked like a jail and,
It's
we
still-
also have to
Very monochromatic.
get a lot of construction workers to come to this site and last thing you want to do is look like a jail.
So historically, the building was painted gray.
I think it's gone through.
Wait.
It was white at the time.
Somebody painted white, and they're requested in their first meeting last year. Red. I thought you were gonna paint more of the top red than that, but that was good. Red and then gray, a different gray for the birthday, a different gray.
Yeah, we were talking about doing much larger red, but it just seemed like it was overpowering. And it's one thing from the ground, but then when you looked at it from the interstate, that was almost all you saw was red. So we minimized that a little bit to kind of incorporate the colors.
Okay.
I know for us, and not that it's a matter here, I mean, you can tell with our sign, I mean, a lot of our colors that we use historically on our jobs are gray, blue, red, and white.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'd like to do. Kind of ask you people to jump in. We're flying in a little different. I've never had to before. I want to hopefully have something come out of this here. You guys can get back to. In the changing the colors from gray and white is not part of that. That was due to. What's the stop work specific?
Stop work
Works that was not discussed.
So it wasn't even necessarily the color of the windows, we just had a discussion about that.
Because they were taking them out and
They-
covering them up. Right.
Yes, so the covering up of windows and doorways, that was why they received the stop.
So if we can. I mean, we can continue the changing of the color. I have a motion.
Well, also public's.
Oh, motion, we have to go through the steps. And then we can take the canopy. The storefront windows, because you have, all your, I think all the information on the storefront windows is. It's clearly from the inside, you're just replacing over there, the inside and outside, it appears to be. Yes. That's. And the infill where the doors existed, you agree to. Faux doors. And at some point come back. Gate. Of something. Wrought iron, some design for that. And I think if we handle those three, we separate the other one to a different meeting, because you guys more time to think about. Or something to us. And the other three things you can take out. That's if everybody, if four of us agree that the solution's here.
Their application also times out after today, so you guys have to render a decision on all items, unless they're gonna give an extension.
Well, I would ask them to do, thanks for pointing that out, 'cause I didn't notice that yet. That's why there, that's why they're here. So is there any other questions you have for us?
When it comes to the colors, I know we're not looking for an answer, but it would be great to hear some feedback. Just to give us some direction, because obviously we're at the polar opposite of the field right now. So our intent would be to try to combine and make everyone happy. So
That may not be tonight, but Commissioner,
One thought
yes,
is that the white windows aren't gonna solve, so don't bring them back to us. Number two is you can paint the building any color you want, basically, because it's been painted every color imaginable. So do something that will make the gray windows look better than and more inviting and homey, so that you can get this passed and get your building.
but we definitely, I know in addition to everything else, I mean. Monetarily.
Yeah.
So windows are the answer. We're significantly over budgeted as it is.
we do understand, because the hardship involved. So that's why I wanted to separate the two, because if we can handle three things, that we need to stop work or at least get your place generate. But said that, well, on the white windows, it has to be a different solution, and then you'll have time to do it. You want to give us like a 60-day extension on this, that part of the application. You know, so you don't have to vote it down today and have you come submit another one. Up to solutions you can have this one continue.
Yeah.
The reason I'm saying 60 is because that only gives us 3. There's one, yeah, we don't have a 4th of July, unless you guys want. So, I'm glad to maintain some sense of humor.
I just want to say, we meant no disrespect when we changed the windows, and I know ignorance isn't, you know,
I believe it.
acceptable, but
I
that
actually
is
believe
was
it. We
what
talked
what
many
it was.
times, and I believe it. But it doesn't, it's, and I mean no disrespect to disagree with it, to not be able to just say, yeah, okay, go ahead. That's when the hard work sits here, the hard work sits here. So we have 3 things. I'm gonna open this public commentary with everybody else's questions. I'd like to open this to public commentary. It's application for installation of a new canopy. Installation of new storefront windows where the old ones existed. Infill where the old ones existed with the brick with the to mimic the doorway with faux doors. And that's it for those 3 things. So does anyone like to speak for or against this application? Seeing none, I'm going to close the public commentary. So we have to do this in 2 parts. So let's take the first one first and entertain a motion to separate the change in window color from gray and white and extend that there. What's the word?
Request a 60-day duration of the application.
Right, to approve a requested, because you guys are requesting this extension. You have to, right. So the motion would be to separate and to extend the request of the applicant. And change window colors for 60 days. So entertain that motion. So moved. Second. Is there any discussion on that motion? Hearing no discussion, let me call the Commissioner Zorzi,
Yes.
Commissioner Walter Poole. Yes. Commissioner Nestor.
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh, yes. Commissioner Harry. Yes. Commissioner Judith.
Yes.
This is to days. Meeting this after. And now I think taking a motion to accept the application for certificate of appropriateness and the installation of a new canopy for the old one existing installation of new storefront windows. And the infill of the old doors to mimic existing with faux doors. It just says to keep the historic look.
Not to forget the 9 windows.
Right. Oh, thank you. There was one other thing. And to replace reinstall 9 windows.
6 windows, but 3 of them being more.
All right, so I'm gonna have to, somebody's gonna have to repeat this for me.
I got my thoughts, I'll share.
With 6 windows, 3 windows on the west side.
Let's say we call East Corner Centers.
Right. Okay. So somebody would like to make that motion, thank you. Is there a second on the motion? Second. Is there discussion? Ready? Did we cover, did we leave anything out of that? So
The only item is on the old doors. You're gonna break it up. They're gonna notify us. It's gonna be a second step on what the door is.
right, and then cover, and but it is gonna be a design that mimics what's there with a faux door. Yes, and if the keys are coming at a later time, yeah. Any no other discussion?
I have one thing. I don't
Yes,
know if
please.
This is really something that
Go ahead, Commissioner.
not us, but the faux doors, if you bricked in with a recess in the opening, so the door could sit in without it looking like it's just tacked onto the front.
No, it's back, they're supposed to.
No, I know, but even if you
Yeah, she's talking about the.
don't
saying-
brick it
you're saying
flat-
that-
Framed in the brick, so it
Yes.
doesn't look like.
So like door and outside. Recess.
Thank you for clarifying that. I think we have to pick your thinking that, but we need those clarifications. So thank you for doing that. Couldn't you get it? It's, yeah. So you understand.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Okay. Okay, any other discussion on the motion? Okay, hearing none, let me call Commissioner Walter, vote.
Yes.
Commissioner Nestor,
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh, yes, Commissioner Nardi,
Yes.
Commissioner Ducal,
Yes.
Commissioner Joyce.
Yes.
Okay. All, you're approved on all of those things except the color of your windows. You've extended that for 60 days. And hopefully, as we get back to work.
Great.
And we'll check and I'll be. Changes just coming up.
Sure.
If we need more time. You know, if we need to, you know, if something changes and we need to know, just gotta sit down and you know, it's gotta be more than day that we need. But anyway, thank you for that. And we'll deal with the other thing.
Thank you so much.
So I just make a comment, because I've been staring at that photograph, the white windows in the gray. I wouldn't have a problem with the white windows in the gray wall, if the building wasn't, it's a. And the interesting thing is, the more I look at it, the more I realize that the white windows are a bunch of little notes, if you will. And it's taken away from me seeing the word self-storage. Oh, it's very, it absolutely says, look at the windows, say, look at me, look at me, look at me. Look at me. So when you're color thinking, you might want to consider
Spending $1 million on windows, you know, people look at.
But anyway, thank you, John. I have to move to the next application.
It's gonna state that, Commissioner Doyle has stepped away.
Well, I didn't see you got, okay, your role was less as temporary or permanent?
Yeah, she's.
Judith's role, okay, Judith, the second Judith's role is stepped up. All right, now, anyway, thank you.
Thank you very much.
37 Avon Place. Thank you. Can you have a seat, give your name and address for the record?
Roland Hammond. This line name of place.
Oops, no, this is Avon. That's one. I got it. Yeah, a couple. All right, we got it. Okay. It's an application for certificate of hardship, 37 Avon Place. They installed a 4-foot fence in front of the house and didn't know because it was first time home buyer. Okay. And you have 3 boys with autism spectrum. Okay, so what are we looking at?
Yes, that's the current picture of the fence right now.
Okay. Was there never a fence there before?
There wasn't previously, no. We have a Google, maybe Google Street View should be in that picture.
Okay.
Is it in the file?
It should be in the file too.
Yes, the street view. Okay. Well, we have a fence. With the fence next
There's a fence adjacent.
Yeah, that is not, yeah, it was next to it.
Well,
So there's a fence just like it that's next to it,
Yeah, so I think it's silver chain fence.
Mhm.
and it received permission from the commission.
It might be.
could have been done before. We see a lot of that. This is, the fence is black, right? Yeah. It's not terribly intrusive. I think I could approve that with the hardship. Just to be replaced without anything else without complicating for us. Any other commissioners have any comments on that?
Just curious, is it a temporary fence?
Well, not the temporary to me.
Well, I mean, it's a temporary for so many years until the child is of age that the fence is not necessary.
No, I don't think that would be this case.
Okay. Yeah, it's not that intrusive.
No, it's not, right, the color is. And it's not uncommon in the neighborhood either. I think it fits under hardship. We always wish people came ahead of time. Yeah, so the hardship is 3 boys on the spectrum. In street safety.
Yes, yeah, one was two,
Hold on.
one is 10, 6, and then 5.
Any other questions? So let me look at the application of public commentary. This is an application for certificate of hardship. Actually, just leave the fence where it is. Is there anyone here who'd like to speak for or against this application? Hearing none, I will close the public commentary, and I would entertain a motion to accept the application for certificate of hardship 37 Avon Place. To keep the fence installed where it is present. So, any discussion on that motion? Hearing none. Who did I start with? It's me. Yeah, I did. Commissioner Nesbitt,
Yes.
Commissioner Walter Cole. Yes. Commissioner Joyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Judith Cole,
Yes.
Commissioner Gray. Yes. Commissioner Washington. Yes. Yeah, we'll just keep the fence under hardship. You're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Buckingham Street, installation of siding. On 34 Buckingham? Yeah. It's an application, not applicability, for 6 foot by 8 fence.
It should be. That's the new application, Commissioner, apologies.
What do you want?
They've changed one that says hardship. So they changed.
Oh, change the heart. I get it. Where is it going?
They're all being tired. In front of the house as well. Yes, but.
Is this our business that's already installed?
No, it's not. So yeah, I'm not sure about what you guys have any stipulation, but. Height wise.
No, there are stipulations on the front. Stipulations are on the front.
So not just historic, but there's also zoning stipulations, so the zoning ordinance will not allow anything higher than a 3-foot tall fence. It gives our residents saying. So no matter what historic says, zoning will not allow anything taller than 3 foot forward of your front foundation line here.
And you can start at the front of your house. The where the foundation.
Did you decide what kind of materials you would use?
We prefer the pine. I gave you 2 options.
Okay, this is their corner lot as well. Correct. Is there an existing fence there?
We took it down. It was.
So this is the existing, this is the fence you removed.
Yes.
Because I believe that you replace that fence.
In the same.
In the same kind of location, that same manner, so it would, but I'm not sure, was it taller than 3 feet in the front of the house?
No.
It's 3 feet. All right, so the appropriateness would come if you were replacing the fence with the same benefits.
Looking at this image, it looks like it would be in the rear of the front. The front would be on the bottom of this page, correct?
Yes.
This is,
This way to look to.
this is
front
Bay
porch.
Street
Yeah.
on the left,
By the front.
and so
Yes.
Buckingham will be just south.
Yeah, so your address is Buckingham.
Yep.
So on the side yard, you're fine as far as, it's just, if you go forward of this area, you can only have 3 feet. No higher than 3 feet.
So you're, what you say now,
So she's going to the side and to the rear.
so that all could be.
That's all good.
Yes. So even because it's facing the street, the zoning ordinance only stipulates front yard, not side yard.
Right. So what's the 24-inch one? What's that? I mean, 24 feet. That's how long that stretch is.
I think it's just how long that should.
So, yeah, 4 feet high.
4 feet high. If that's the plan, 4 feet
I
high,
think it's okay.
and that would be okay. To the best you know.
Yep.
The zoning is still gonna have to. Is this gonna fit, this is fitting zoning that includes
Yes,
the way it is?
yes.
Now, what about material wise?
It's only the yes material.
The zone, the material is strictly for us, it is.
Yes. So they just get into, zoning gets into the height and then site triangles and those sort of things.
So the easiest way to do this is replace it with the same kind of that you had.
With,
And I think we can improve that.
we had both options.
Um,
So it was a 6 foot, it was a 6 foot fence out there.
right. So what would the hardship then? Why would this one says not applicability, which would be the case if we just replace it, what in fact you have?
Or are there any new locations that you're installing the fence? I know there's a red line, there's a green line here. Is there any new locations? I think that's why it's coming before you guys. with new
Yeah,
locations.
the red line.
So the red lines,
By the driveway, it
I
wasn't.
mean, on the right side,
Yeah,
so there hasn't been a fence.
it was next to the neighbor when the opposite side there, where the driveway is.
the driveway's on the right side, right?
No, that's the neighbor's house. The one that says 51. Yeah, that one.
That's the new.
Yeah,
Oh, there was no fence there at all?
no, there's trees.
Okay,
We took those out.
all right, and the other one had fences.
Yes.
So the commission wouldn't have purview of it, but if you look more like cursories, you guys will have purview
That's the
over
deal.
this,
Right,
but you guys would have purview over this one here.
okay. Okay. Let's see, where was there initially a fence, just clarify this one. Just.
By the neighbors.
Do you want to go to the screen?
Just
Yeah, just don't touch the screen. Touch the screen. Do something if you hit it.
So there was here and then here and then here.
So
There was like
just-
some chicken.
Just that
stuff.
one back 51 foot, you
Yeah.
said that, I just want to clarify. Okay. Anybody else have any other questions for petition? Just go ahead, sure, I'm not sure if the fence material is. Well, she said she'd replace it with the same wood material.
We don't.
Fence that this would- Yeah, that's okay. Which should.
So I just had two things, so just for point of clarity, now and then. On a corner lot, anything on the side lot, as long as it's not the front of the property.
Yeah. As long as it's
It's, it can be 5, 6 feet, what's the height?
so, okay, so,
That's in this neighborhood.
So like, this is Bay Street on your left,
yeah, so.
so since it's not the front of the house,
Mhm. It can go up to, I think,
6,
somewhere around
right?
6 feet, yeah,
So it, and there can be 6 feet as long as it's
yeah.
past the foundation line. The
So it could be 6 feet from here, you see where the cursor is?
Yeah.
Here,
Yeah.
all the way
Yeah.
to, let's say about here.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Once you get here, you're at the front foundation line,
3 feet there.
thereabouts, and then
And
anything beyond that has to be 3 feet.
Right,
Okay.
it's in front of the
Yeah.
house.
Okay, so we're looking at a 6 foot fence, except for that one little stretch. The 4 foot. And the only variation is the same material, but 51 feet across the back. So, I'm okay. 5 feet, well, 5 feet, it says there, sorry.
So I think the red is 5 feet, the blue is 4 feet.
Okay. Right.
There's gonna be like a gate.
Okay, this, I don't think it falls under hardship of those issues, you agree?
It's just a.
Hardship in that, I guess she couldn't have, well,
Well, it seems like it's.
I'll say the hardship.
It's being, because that stretch wasn't there, would that make it have to be, appropriate?
it could be. You guys.
Yeah.
So I'm asking you now,
You got a missing piece, you're not
saying that wasn't there would be for appropriate. So let's do this under, I think this becomes appropriate. Not, that's not, it's not hardship. There's no. It fits the guidelines. Yeah. So. It just made, the motion could be under, appropriate. If it's not applicability, you don't even have to have motions. Any other questions? All right, let me open this to public commentary. The application for certificate of appropriateness and authority for finding in the street to replace some and install some fence. Anybody here to speak for or against this application? Very quiet out there today. Hearing none, I'll close public commentary and entertain a motion to accept the application for certificate of appropriateness to install fencing as described, 5 feet, 51-foot stretch and a 56-foot stretch, and 102-foot stretch, and 4 feet at the 24 feet side of the house. Before we do that, I want to get an initial right next to that shed. Somebody want to make that motion? Second. Who so moved in 2 seconds? Right. Okay, any discussion on that motion? Okay, let's take a vote. Commissioner Walsh, yes. Commissioner Bernardi? Yes. Commissioner Dutiful?
Yes.
Commissioner Nestor? Yes. Commissioner Multiple? Yes. Commissioner Gill?
Yes.
Okay, you can start that, it's gotta be the same with fence size.
That's fine, so we still like to be up to 6 feet on the 6 everywhere else.
Yeah.
6 to 8, and then they run 3 to 4.
Yes, and
Well, so again, front yard, you have to post anything for the front yard, so.
no, I think she needs that 24-foot.
Right.
It's not going to be beyond the front.
Actually, it's 36.
So if we want to
Okay,
put
that
it,
could be
we
6
only be able
feet.
to let that.
Yeah, and you can make call 6 feet if you want to, but you need to let us.
Okay.
All right.
This is sunshine, give me a color. Color
Yeah,
doesn't.
those
If you want to.
This has to be what.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, 144 Buckingham. How are you? Live there, keep being here, anyway. Names and addresses for the.
Linda Wallace and Ron Wallace, on 44 Buckingham Street.
You have an application for a certificate of appropriateness at 144 Buckingham Street. To replace the windows on the 3rd floor.
First and third.
Okay, this is very old and on the 3rd floor, the was already in there. I see it in the winter months and. Okay. So what are you replacing?
We have to put plastic through the
What
winter.
kind of window?
Oh, right now, and it's gonna be double pane windows because the ones that are in there now is just a single pane and
You have, so you don't have original windows on the first and second floor?
yes, I have the pictures and I did send the pictures to. Yeah, I did send some pictures. Email some pictures as well.
Even these are these in there should be.
Yeah, you should.
That's right.
Okay, there we go.
Well, the reason I said that because it says here, 3rd floor windows are the original.
Yeah, real old and it's what.
My question was, are the 1st and 2nd floor, were they replaced at some time
Mm,
prior? Are they all original?
original, yeah. And especially the 3rd floor, the wood is kind of rotten out. And it's the rope chain, the rope thing that you push up, and so it's tight sometimes, so we really need to really that, yeah, I mean.
So, it looks like some of the 2nd floor windows were replaced.
Yeah, so it's the 1st and the 3rd floor that we're actually doing.
I was gonna say, because one, yeah, the 1st and the 3rd. Yeah. One and 3 look like traditional. It's have you considered that's really happening, original.
Oh, because it's rough. two is definitely rotten out, so we're gonna have to replace those. And then the windows themselves that are there, is those single pane windows. And it's the somewhere around it, the cold winter air gets seeping into it. And so we have to, tape it up with plastic, during the winter, ever since we moved. So, I mean, yeah,
What color?
we're gonna do the original color, which is white and vinyl. But it's gonna be double pane instead of single pane.
So your second floor was had already had
Yeah.
replacement windows?
Yeah.
Yes, because it's rented out. So we had to fix it up for the tenant. But the first and third floor, the windows are. You see, the windows,
Yeah,
yeah,
the original windows appear to be 202. The historic windows in general. See.
but whatever color that is there. But we're gonna let it remain, just taking out the windows itself and padding around the inside so that it's. No air gets seeping in and put the double pane windows in. So
Now, when the window people were talking, did they understand it was a historic property?
yes, they know, yeah.
Did they suggest anything about the grills?
Yeah, they're just gonna
But they-
make it just as it is for like this.
Okay, so the historic grills would have been, what I could see here with two over two, that one down the middle. Did they talk about in where the lights in between the glass or? The exterior?
I don't think so, can, so if you look at what you have on the first and second floor,
Yeah,
those are your original windows.
yes.
So they're the color, they're black. Like the windows themselves are.
But yeah, we bought it.
Originally, they were black, and you can still see some of them are black in color.
Yeah,
And then the grids that he's talking about, so like what you have in your proposal,
yeah,
these don't have any grids, they don't have any lights or bars that go across, they're open, right?
yes,
So in the trade, they call that 1/1, it's one pane over one other pane.
okay,
So what you have on the first and third floor isn't just an open bay. Like the second floor has that kind of style, but they've been replaced already.
yes,
But your first and third floor have like side by side panes, there's a grid.
yeah, yes, I got
So
you.
you have two on the lower part of the
Yes.
window and two on the upper part of the.
Yes, I got
So that's, so when he's saying 2/2, it's.
it. Okay,
It's
yeah,
over the two grids.
yes,
What you have there is one over.
yeah, okay,
Just so that we're all on the same page on what the words mean and.
Okay.
Because again, it's all what it looks like here.
okay, all right, I got you.
And you have strong windows.
Yes.
Yes.
They didn't discuss, actually, there was one of the ones they didn't discuss having
Oh, I can
exterior grid.
show you the proposal.
There has no grid, and he's just asking if they asked about, because the order has no grids.
Okay,
It'd just be one without grids.
okay,
It's just different than what you have on your first and third floor.
And
Okay.
they didn't offer any different color. Well, that would be more historic.
no, they said that would remain with the white color that it is now. Cause that's what we thought it was, but you're saying now that it was originally black.
Yeah.
Okay, so can we?
And I'm even. How old is that picture?
It's from 2015.
You can even see the black.
That's 2/2, that's middle of 2015.
Yeah, well, right, the upstairs, the first floor. Which, we have the right house?
Yeah, that's one right there. No, not that one.
Right, I'm just trying to.
No, oh,
Just trying to zoom in on the side.
okay. I have pictures of the side right here.
See, those, the first floor clearly are 202.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the second floor, I can't really tell from that. From that, I can't even tell if they're inflation yet. They look like replacements.
Yeah.
But you, the pictures that Lynn's got here, you can actually see the grids. You can see the grids.
There's, you can see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they're both.
Just one here to show.
Yeah, the sides, yeah.
It does look like they offer different colors.
Yes, they do offer different colors, but I told them because it's historic, we have to stay with the color, the original color.
Well,
But
really don't know.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, we didn't know that.
Right, yeah, it's confusing, right?
Go ahead, Commissioner.
So I see 3 different window. Comments in this.
Yeah, because the person we spoke to said they would like to see different estimates to compare. So I went ahead and got other people submitted so that you can see the comparison.
Okay, so which ones are you planning to do?
Where-
Extra,
Yeah,
and extra?
no, we're planning to do Provia, that's the name of the company that builds the window. And the name of the company that we got is right.
So the indoor window.
It's United Home Experts that we went through.
Okay.
And,
Here.
yeah. Yeah, so we have different proposals, so we decided on the United Home Experts. And because,
And so that's this one.
yes, so they did explain to us, and in details what they were gonna do and what we think is appropriate and best fit for the house.
So we.
Mm-hmm. 28.
I think the 8 and 5 and 9. You said there are 28 windows that are going to.
Yeah, for first and third floor together.
Well, the.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
So these Provia windows
Yeah,
are called indoor. They come with the possible 4 colors. On the outside, they have black. On the outside
okay.
and white on the inside, if that's what you want. Yeah, but what he's proposing to you is white inside and white outside.
Yeah, because I told them that we had to go with the color and we thought that was the original color, yeah.
Right. What are the other colors?
But I'm just letting you know that because he may change the price.
Okay,
The color change. What other colors?
So I'm gonna keep in mind it's a big song.
okay.
The color, I'm trying to find out the names of the colors, but I see it black. Looking at it on the exterior, but
the door windows. And then the grid, the light. And something, but they have two exterior grid. And lucky it's just one. Even though the second floor has been replaced. The first, third, you believe you should try to come to a more historic. Rendering, and then the most. Needing replacement at some time, because the vinyl replacement don't last anywhere near as long as it's top. But when those to replace the second one, create this for the second one.
Okay.
I'm just wondering what other colors they offer.
They say 4 exterior colors and 8 interior colors, but they don't give the names of the colors. They show a black exterior for double hung in their picture, right? So I have to presume that one of the colors. Will be black.
And white.
White.
Oh, yes. White, well, everybody's got white.
Okay.
Profile? The silk profile?
9.5 inch profile. You can't find a second yet.
No, I never remember. I don't think it was when they were on the school website. Right here, it's the company working on.
Marvin is sent, I guess, Marvin's there, it's really six.
But this one's a different product. That's the model, but that's not the manufacturer.
It's different.
Yeah. What we essentially trying to do is we encourage people to try to restore those.
Yeah.
They can't, and they're looking at historic replacement windows. They actually have windows on the site of other projects that kind of met what they look like.
Okay.
As an example, doesn't mean that we're going to approve all those, but if it's been in other houses, they can have a low sill and external, grid, dark color. And other companies may be trying to have that out there to make people are wondering what kind of window is historic and not relying on somebody telling you, oh yeah, I do this all the time and this is good. So
we also have the neighbors, if you can look at the neighbors windows. Let them, see, they have different colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes what happens is people just do stuff.
Oh.
It doesn't mean that that was right or that they came to the historic commission and said, can I have this window? And we said, sure. No. So sometimes things just get done and then you look next door and you go, well, they got it, it must be okay. Right?
You have, still have a lot of black, at least, you have a lot of black windows.
Oh. And even the other one, the other house over on the other class from us, I think they're white, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Okay.
Those are the exterior colors of the white.
Okay.
It's moving gray, black, darker gray, black, right, and the interior colors are those white with.
Yeah, you can.
So well that we. Commissioners. That we can. Hey, this. My, part of the reason is. The white. Sat here for a while. We prefer you to investigate a different color.
Okay.
Yeah, then,
But they offer the black, so you could just,
well, you might want to talk to them, at least talk to them. And see what they can offer, and then the grid work to duplicate the. Split windows,
okay.
the exterior grids, a couple of things. So I want to.
Well, to make sure that those options are available to you, and then also, it's gonna change the price, can you then afford whatever that price change may be?
So what I'd like to ask you to do is allow us to continue this to our next meeting, which is the 20th
Okay.
of June.
Yeah.
Give you guys some time to investigate the color and grid pattern.
Okay. I can remember to say thank you. Additional.
Yes, go ahead.
Does she have a list, or would they easily get a list of approved windows?
It's on the city.
It's on the
website.
city website, you know, have you seen that? Maybe that would help.
Email it, so I-
Yeah, but with it, I was gonna say, I'll be sure to email it to you, and create a list about what you have for advocacy, okay?
Okay.
So if that's okay, I'm gonna ask. Well, it's a bit complicated, but in order to try and take that story. Neighborhood. Have to research it.
Okay.
Already, obviously, price. Rates can make a difference. Okay, you wanna make sure you, before we. Okay, so.
Not the.
I just wanted to be sure they understood that there were also other concerns about sill size and things like that.
Yeah, the way it sits on, so.
Right. Sometimes so.
So it's there's slim lines and what it calls, it's just not back like by. For cap by it's thinner and at the bottom it sits on the sill instead of having this much vinyl.
Okay.
It's into.
I think it shows in here, somewhere in here, because I was gonna ask him to come and explain.
Yeah, ask them to come to the next.
Sometimes they bring sample.
Yes, and, yes,
Try again. I'm gonna go back to this page right here. Yeah, that's not, that's, no, that's got a lot of. Those are not demonstrating what we do. Hopefully the window person can explain to them, that's the, that's the profile.
okay,
It has to sit as close to the original sill.
okay,
Some of them are designed to sit the tiniest little bit of the vinyl there. It sits right down, looks just how your original one does.
okay,
You know how vinyl, when you see vinyl windows, they have the, it's like a, from the outside, you got this big fence, you get the white.
yeah,
The window fits into that.
yes,
Well, that's what we're trying, that some windows don't have that, it comes right down the sill to make it move more like an original,
okay,
so. Yeah, that's, you can do some of that research color. Just the design on it, they'll send you information.
okay,
On the approved windows and just, we'll have you on the meeting on the 20th, if you could come back.
okay,
If that's okay.
yes, I'm 28, okay,
If that's okay, I'm gonna entertain the motion that we continue the application. Certificate of appropriate 144 parking in street. The 20th. Second, okay, any discussion on the motion? Commissioner Nardi? Yes. Commissioner Buell?
Yes.
Commissioner Nestor?
Yes.
Commissioner Walter? Yes. Commissioner Jersey?
Yes.
Commissioner Welch? Yes, so that's the continue, you'll be on the agenda for next week. If we can come, you can bring a sample of the window.
okay,
And just color and lights.
Okay. okay, all right, then we'll do that, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure. All right, we get there. So we're finding out. We got.
For the record,
Okay, you yourself roll and withdrawn, for the record.
for the record, Commissioner already has.
Already stepped out. Should have meant for the record, control instead of. Next is, we have York Street. Here's all. Here. And we just gotta wait for it. We can give your name and address for the record.
Rita Miller, 162 Brooklyn Manor.
So we do have a letter that she was representing.
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right, we're going. So this is an application for certificate of appropriate, 29 George Street, to replace the rear porch windows, to replace 2 second floor, third floor windows.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us. Tell us what we're doing.
So the spindles right there, we replaced to kind of represent the first floor. Let's make sure the first floor.
Okay, so you're gonna take those out of there?
Oh, no, we're gonna keep those. Those are replaced.
It looks like the blue one.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're gonna.
Yeah, I was saying,
I'll stand up here, so just.
Yeah, I was saying to match with the second floor.
Okay, so these are already replaced.
Yeah.
At some point,
And this is a porch that's in the rear of the structure.
and it's being replaced, and it was done. Is she a new owner of that?
So they came before you guys
Yeah, I thought
a few months ago, where they, let me just go to the image of it. So they were approved for the front porch,
Yeah.
for the total rebuild of the front porch.
Okay, that sounds.
And somewhere in that folder, you can say, we're approved for, this is an old picture, but they started to redo the front porch, but then it came before you guys. For, you know, the total rebuild of the columns, the base of the column, the like scallop with, like wood scallop. And
Fire damage to the front porch in front of the house. I remember now, the fair house there. Actually, front porches and building side triggers supports it out. And the notice of decision was placement is 1 siding, no changes in materials as well. So.
again, this is the original porch, and this is,
Yeah,
this is closer to what they've done, today. Try to replicate the old porch. All right, well, yeah.
I don't know if it's, I don't know that.
So the porch that we're in question today is this back porch here on the left hand side of the photo. And so they've already done work. The issue is that they're trying to get building permits, but they did work without, you know, obviously getting historic approval. When they went to get the building permits, they, you know, reached out to us and said, hey, do they have historic approval? I said, no. So I called them. We come back with community and get this resolved, so that this is
right. It also looks like that the railing that there's this one here, not the right height. So it looks like it's too high. Okay. So we replaced spindles. So
That's what higher here.
So I think they were
Yeah,
just
they're saying it's
replacing.
too high.
Yeah, this photo's from 2015. And obviously you can see the.
Yeah.
They're already sort of, I believe, fighting at that point.
But they never came in almost for any of that stuff. Just their front.
That's the problem.
Were we looking from the street? No, well, so that's side.
Yeah.
Other side of the house. Do we have a current picture from the front? See that in it? We threw the spindle.
I'm sorry.
This is it.
For the front?
Yeah.
I can't see it.
Well, it's like that.
No, this here? Okay.
Looks like they were just straight spindles before, which would make it easier to replicate. But that's not what's on the agenda right now, so, which is one. So that's what we're looking at here,
That's the back, that's.
right? And part of that's, you're only gonna replace this.
Yeah.
make it match the others.
Yes,
Because all of them are one size, so like. This other hardship by any chance?
No, it's in the previous.
Okay, replace rear porch spindles, that which is very general. It replace second floor window with the third floor windows. I'm gonna get past the spindles for a minute, get out there.
So I did ask for specs of the windows and window locations. I was never given that information.
Okay, so we can't deal with that tonight.
I don't know if she may have.
so I do have the specs, the windows are 24 by 48 Anderson double pane windows, and that's on the third, the attic.
Yeah, we need we would need that. Right, get something from the window people.
Oh, okay. So I'll accept it.
You know the actual model number of window Anderson? The Andersons have been started.
I don't know.
Because I think that
Do you have the window locations?
Yeah, so the top attic, which is, I don't know, if can I just see that?
You can go up to the screen.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So these windows right here, these windows and. Oops.
That's the touch screen.
Oh,
screen, so we
okay.
You can try, there you.
Yeah, so these windows and also the third floor windows have been all replaced. Yeah. This one, yeah, they've been replaced.
So the windows that you're, I'm sorry, the windows that you're petitioning for, they've all already been replaced?
Yes,
And you have photos of what's there currently?
currently, yes, in the.
So we're gonna,
So you, the window. Oh, no, they have, no, sorry, not the second floor, but they have not, but the third floor window, up there has been.
It has been replaced.
Yes,
who did that? What company?
I didn't, I have to ask the contractors.
Then you're just gonna replicate what's been done on the third floor and the second floor?
Yes,
So we need more information on this actually.
okay,
Number, see if it fits our criteria,
Okay.
things like that. So we can't really give you a decision on that. In the spindles, is this just a more of a repair job, just to make it safer, or is it, what's it considered?
to make it safer, also just to replicate what was already there previously, also to replicate the second floor.
Because none of those are correct. Close, spindles, I guess. If we straight spindle. But I also don't want it to be safe. So, it's the potential to approve something when they're temporarily. Is there a part missing? Is some of it missing? Oh, right there, it looks like it's missing, but this picture does. Up at the top, is that missing right now?
No.
It's there now.
I think we'll do that.
Is that what's there now?
Oh, yeah,
So it's already been done.
yeah,
So is the work been done and you're coming to get permission or?
yes. So, yes.
Okay, so the windows have been replaced and that you are asking about and the spindles have been replaced.
Some of the windows.
Some of the windows,
And all of the spindles.
you know, all the spindles on the side of the window, except for the second floor.
So so then we're not replacing porch spindles, because you already did that.
Yeah, I guess it would be permission to see if they were allowed to keep it.
So here's what the original decision says. Several renovations to the front and side porches, replace deck boards, trim boards, support boards, column bases, railings, balusters, floorboards, no change in material design. And
What's the date on that one, and who's the property owner? Just want to make sure.
this that old, the owner, Paul Tremblay. So. This is.
If this particular owner received approval from the planning board.
There's no one.
Look, here's another.
Take two.
Picture. Come forward. Replacement of wood clapper siding, no changes in material design. That was this year. That's the only other thing we did.
There should be another decision on there.
Be on picture.
Should be. Maybe it's been reorganized. No, they didn't give us approval on that.
No, but be.
It was only front board.
Front, yeah.
Place, and this is. Well, another, so this is the same. You should just do now applicability for replacement of wood clapper siding, no changes in materials. In
That could
January
close the
24th,
subject.
because
It was on the over.
I'm not seeing another pink piece of paper here. And this was, it's signed by Bob Carroll, that's all I know that was 2015 relative to the side, front, side porches, tech boards, trim boards, support boards, combination, floorboards, no change in material design.
So will the spindles, as they look now, on there? That way, in the house, you bought the house.
Yes.
Even this old one has that. 2015 approval now. So we can get up, I can get off that.
Yes.
Here's the
Nothing that could be done.
this year. December of 2023.
Okay. Base floor, okay, raised railings, 36 inches front porch, restore. Porch columns. So. Okay. Well, that doesn't. That's your tall.
26 to 36.
Yeah.
Really? On the front.
I see that, I'm just wondering. What's,
If I remember when we had the discussion, it's because when you look at
where the.
how far the actual walls, the little walls are,
Yeah,
they go straight across
okay.
at 36 inches. So it makes sense and
I mean,
everything kind of.
looking at those top things, it's not too high. Okay, so that's all, I'm just trying to refresh, I thought I remember all this stuff. It's good.
We're here to help you.
I know you are. I know that some of them were lining them up with the window sills because they were, okay, so that the shape of them doesn't matter because the commission approved that 2015 under a different one. So those spindles are fine. So windows we can deal with. We could vote on whether they, even she can redo the spindles on the porch. And then continue to till we get more information on the second window. Or we can continue the whole thing.
Okay.
It's just, you've already done the work, so it doesn't matter if we continue the whole thing and come back and look at it. So that's what I'm gonna ask the commission, I'll entertain a motion to continue the application. Certificate of appropriate, George Street, place rear porch shingles, replace the second floor and third floor. Any discussion on that motion? Yeah, hearing none, we call vote. Commissioner Sorry,
Yes.
Commissioner Walter Crowe.
Yes.
Commissioner Hester,
Yes.
Commissioner Judith Crowe,
Yes.
Commissioner Hardy.
Yes.
This, you'll be on the agenda on the 20th. You need specific information on the windows
Okay.
and then we'll. We don't have it because it's already done, so it doesn't matter. Actually,
Okay.
the other things about
Same.
Anyone else want to? Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, next is environmental review, 134 Catherine Street, so we'll get renovations. Hey, that's it. You're a patient man.
Will Brock, 31 Elm Street, 01103. The senior project manager for the city of Springfield Office of Disaster Recovery. Speaking on behalf of Jimmy James, 134 Catherine Street for an NDR environmental review. We're doing multiple repairs on it. The first one is to remove and rebuild the front porch in the specifications as they were originally stood. It calls for pressure treated wood as that is what is currently there. I also included the pictures of the other properties around it. There's not a ton of historic value really in like the five houses that I took pictures of, which is not really relevant to the environmental review. Generally, I came in, we called previously for tugging group, and I'd be more than willing to change that particular specification. With the needs of guys. Yep. And same thing with the side porch, it's just a small side porch, it's an entryway, but we would also change that to tongue roof and pressure treatment as well. And replacement of the lattice in that area to match what's existing there. I believe it's the diamond shaped lattice, white diamond shaped lattice.
Let's see the original. Can you put this one up big? Put that one up big. I don't think the difference would be. We're gonna be able to see it from this picture anyways. I think it's just a straight. It's supposed to diamond, but it's coming.
Well, and the other aspect of this too is that I don't believe I want to say there's lattice in other areas too, and it wouldn't be removed, we wouldn't be replacing all of the lattice, so we're looking for something to match, the profile of the house.
I don't know, there's diamond, but it's usually framed.
The lattice would be framed.
Yeah.
As opposed to just hung up.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna do it the proper way rather than just kind of nail it up to the side of the house. Okay, that's right. Remove the existing aluminum siding and replace with using current vinyl standard siding, which obviously is not acceptable with the Secretary of the Interior standards, so we'd have to look into using wood clapboard siding for that particular replacement. Also, though, too, with this one, as there's aluminum there, this is kind of a unique property that I brought in front of you, commissioners, compared to the other ones that I presented.
Yeah.
The fact that we're in an NDR, an NRD area, and there's existing aluminum siding, I was really unsure of how to advise the rehabilitation supervisor and how to write that up. Basically, in our mind, with my budgeting, we cover minimum standards of human habitation issues, and we're looking to improve, properties above code standards. There's also a cost reasonability aspect to this. For us to remove existing aluminum siding and reside the entire house with wood clapboard would probably not fall into a cost reasonability assessment for the program. So that's this particular line item in general, I would ask for some advisement from the commission on, just in terms of the environmental review and what materials we would be able to use in that particular, work item.
What is it say?
And I actually went out to the property to confirm that it is aluminum. That's why I ended up taking all the pictures of the other properties around, because all the other properties, the 5 properties surrounding it, all have aluminum siding as well.
Which is what happens actually.
So the yellow is aluminum siding and the white.
The yellow and the white are both aluminum siding. They're just 2 separate aluminum sidings. We obviously would be, residing, or we would look to paint and make the entire profile of the house match, to one color.
Yeah. What happens if you take the aluminum off the siding? It's recoverable.
You know what? That would be an interesting one. I don't really know how I would accomplish that, the commissioner, because in order to do that, we would have to pay a contractor to do exploratory demolition, which we don't do prior to getting a contractor under contractor agreement with the homeowner for the funding to get started.
It's too bad, because I have personal experience with that. I stripped the house a couple of summers ago, and I can't believe they covered it.
I can't really speak to that one.
So that's sometimes the case when they were getting paint, they're saying, well, they put this aluminum on, it's never gonna wear around, it's never.
They came before this board when I did my development at 120 Mill Street. It's all sided, we pulled it off, it was all shakes. And
I couldn't believe it.
80% of it was shakes, so we replaced the other 20 and
Everyone, I see your problem because you would have to know.
you have to hire somebody there.
I also am on a very strict timeline and I have 6 months to get this contractor under contract in order for them to receive the funding from the program.
Okay, so.
So I'm a little bit against, I'm against the wall on this one.
Okay, so let's approach this list a different way. Which items there do you think are problematic?
This is really the only problematic item. Everything else is pretty standard for things that I brought in front of you folks
I
previously.
don't usually have.
Yeah, I mean, this is just that one where I honestly, I had no idea what to advise an A planning, these are rehabilitation supervisor and how it is.
Tongue and groove stuff, you already do that.
Tongue and groove, I knew off the bat, the windows, I advised them, we can't use any vinyl, materials in the NRD districts. So we wrote those up as the wooden windows with aluminum wrap that we previously put into other projects. The entryway door replacement, we'd be using in-kind materials, we've looked to recreate that front window that they have, that half shell window that they have. Storm door replacement, using in-kind materials that are currently existing. The rear hatchway is in really bad shape, so that one would be new Bilko. Bilko, but yeah, it would blend in color wise with the red foundation of the property. Masonry to repair the water penetration in that area. And then I did include an example of a aesthetic light fixture that would be coverable with, for the materials.
I mean, the stairs and things like that are looking to add more of a historic.
I mean,
File than that. Clearly, they've been rebuilt before.
Yeah.
Just built stairs.
yeah, I mean, with those particular ones, the structure. Yeah, the structure of the porch or the, itself is fine. It's just the decking that's been rotted out. So that's really what
Like
we're.
this one's actually using relevant, they're more appropriate than some of these soccer. Just that back stair. So if you're doing that. So those are the main issues we're talking about.
And I mean, maybe, even if the answer is we put this to PVPC, like I know that, you folks need to, and then we see what feedback they have in terms of that particular item for the siding, I would understand that as well. So.
So the aluminum siding,
Run your decision on all items, except for the siding, we can reach out. to
Yeah,
Shane.
and I understand where,
looks like vinyl.
so the white was, actually, no, you're right, the white was vinyl when I went out there. I checked, because I went up and tapped on the aluminum to make sure that it was aluminum and it wasn't like some sort of faux material to
What
it.
about that possibility of painting the aluminum white?
It takes specific damage for the siding.
These doors have all been replaced. This is, a lot of this house has already been replaced.
And it looks like they started the vinyl and then just probably.
Yeah, and actually, it looks like they even did vinyl on another back side of the back corner. Right there, too. So,
Yeah.
so I think that's kind of why we wrote up, the whole vinyl the siding replacement, because there were two different sets of materials, which can absolutely, create water penetration and then rot out members in the siding and the structure of the property. So.
And then, right, just a technical question relative to what's existing there, they can repair, replace. Existing, they're not wood. So we be able to hold them to a replacement. As opposed to.
Right.
Material. Yeah. My problem with that is I still want the architectural details to be brought out.
Well, and if that's the case, right, there's certain.
Those edge boards, all those things.
The other aspect of the Healthy Homes program, generally we don't cover aesthetics in the Healthy Homes program. So I would need a specific write-up from the historical commission on what's required in terms of aesthetics.
What about all the unhealthy mold that's behind the siding?
That's, to be trying to make it healthy. But that's a portion that I don't bring in front of you folks, because that's part of my environmental portion of specifications.
Okay. So we could approve, we could suggest that there's no environmental impact on everything except the aluminum side, and then we go back and make a investigate Shannon.
Yeah.
That's very historical, so.
Yeah.
And because you're already okay with the Tongue Road.
Yeah, and as I said, my goal is to get this project off the ground. It's not, handcuff it.
And unfortunately, ours is to handcuff it in such a manner that it maintains its historical.
So let's find a way to work together and.
You entertain, be a motion?
You go ahead, you got one.
Well, you were starting, I just want to make sure.
No, it wasn't really. I was asking for clarification. And he clarified. Not quite sure how to.
So since it's an environmental review,
So this would be
It's not
like,
a public hearing.
no, you would say no adverse impact for, a list of.
all the items
Yes.
except for the siding, which we would recommend to go see, we can come back for.
You're the same part to the siding other.
Yeah, it is, there you go. So with 134 Catherine Street, no, negative impact. I mean, as far as, rebuilding the front porch. There were steps that on the front porch, it would have to be tongue improved. Replacing the windows, the gutter and downspouts as enclosed, the entryway doors, the storm door replacement. All the doors are kind of spelled out, the rear hatchway, the masonry. Along with the white fixture, the only item that would need to come back would be the siding.
Just want to specify aluminum wrap for the windows.
Thank you, right.
Just a thought. Sorry.
It is a motion.
Yeah. Is that clear enough? Okay, is there a second on that motion? Okay, discussion on the motion. I'm gonna ask, even though we're in the motion, just finish that thought.
My thought was just that we had talked about the vinyl siding, would replacing the vinyl siding with aluminum and then painting to match the profile. Would that be an acceptable solution? But
That would be something on their own, something applicability. I don't. I don't think that's the solution we should look
yeah,
at.
my apologies for interrupting.
That's okay, so we have, the motion is. Is there any discussion on the motion? So. Where we meeting mining notice about Commissioner resource.
Yes.
Commissioner Judith.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so there's no environmental impact. So an adverse impact. My word. But except now, how do we approach this? Do we need another motion? Or was that included to extend that?
I would just make a motion to continue the siding.
So somebody could make that motion to continue.
So
Next time, any discussion? Yeah, we'll do this the easy way. All in favor?
yes,
Any opposed? Extensions, the ayes have it. Yeah, well, we can now, we got away from it. Online for years. Okay,
All right, so just once we get the recommendation, from PBC, I'll get back in front of you to decide where we're shooting. Right,
the rest of it is you do.
But do my best. That's all I can do.
But we still are gonna be after. The appropriate of the solution for the siding is gonna get, so that's the step in that. All right, thank you, Chris. Thank you.
thank you.
We can start cleaning up that mess. Okay, we have, I see the petition warrant, we have 46 Blue Street, single family home.
So we're gonna have,
Can I just pass you that folder base?
This one, it's which one?
That one right there. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so that would involve the petitioner, see if he's willing to come back. I don't know if he has to step out for emergency or whatever.
Does he have to be here?
That's up to you guys. I mean, there was a site visit, so if you guys feel comfortable.
Well, I don't think we have to be.
Okay.
All right, so there procedural reason you have to be here?
No, typically the petitioner is here, but if you guys feel like
this is a demo delay.
if you feel like you have.
Oh, there he is. No, we just.
Oh, hi.
How are you?
I was on the phone, sorry.
That's okay. I thought you left, so we're gonna either try and find you. I was gonna try to. I walked around the building a couple of times. Yeah, we're talking here for a while.
How you guys doing?
Good. This is an application for exemption for preservation of historically significant building for Oasis Road Street. There's been site visits. Anybody want to talk to me about that site visit? Al, go ahead.
I don't think there's any significant loss of anything that in being awarded to the commission.
And that's sort of significant property. Where it's sort of neighbors.
Yeah.
Anybody else can say anything? Yeah. He's in. Site visit as well as around you guys. So. I have to take a motion. Anybody else want to comment?
There is a letter if you want.
Do I have it in here?
Yeah.
Yep, there. This is it. This is not safe.
No, the guy just did it, the neighbor just wanted me to bring it to the,
Yeah.
the neighbor, just wanted me to.
You just wanted to make sure I wasn't
No,
procedural thing. I didn't want somebody beating it. It's a procedure. The Springfield Historic Commission, June 6th meeting, demolitions, appointment of right now, express support demolition, city, and all Ward Street, they're only living across the street, 35 Ward Street, past 54 years. We also own the property, Ward Street, where I sold, 25 years. But it's 20 years, of spirit and deterioration of the inside as well as the outside, our and environment, Wall Street and neighbors. The neighborhood is still in good shape, we need the best interest for neighborhood house. We could further improve the neighborhood. Same time, we eliminate problems that traffic wildlife or payments for taking on the properties out there. House and learn many right here, so it's saying that also saying that there's like the revolution. Jen's office the market. And many others. So I don't, there's not much issue here. Any commissioner have? Yeah, entertain a motion to.
To waive the 9-month delay.
Waive, I was gonna say the exemption, to waive the 9-month demo delay. So moved, second. Second, any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, on your call it. Commissioner Walsh, yes, Commissioner Nardi. Yes. Commissioner Buick, call.
Yes.
Commissioner Murphy.
Yes.
Commissioner Walter, call. Yes. Commissioner Mitchell.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you get another big house?
Yeah.
Did you know that house?
Yeah.
Down?
Yep. Yes.
Same, same time?
Yep. Yeah, they're gonna be the same. Same.
You said it was improving the neighborhood.
Thank you.
Okay, well, that's all we got. See, all that time you sat. Thank you for your patience.
no problem, with the building department, we'll get the letter.
He'll take care of it. Yeah, we got you.
All right, awesome. Okay, thanks.
Okay, we have the 101 State Street where is the no show, right? 260 feet all in. 90 Fairfield Street, is that you? Okay, come on up. Not like the building separate exterior repairs, so. Fantastic. Go ahead, tell us what you're doing.
I got approved for the historic grant, so I have to be here? I really don't know what I'm doing.
That's the community preservation.
What we have, I'm not sure you got approved already.
No, she was approved for funding, but she has to come before you guys.
To make sure it fits.
Yeah.
Right, that's not applicable. So tell us what your project is.
The contractor that came out noticed a bunch of stuff, but I'm only approved for a certain amount, so I was just looking to do the first.
This says application. Applicability. No change in design and material. That is a key to this. Because if we find out there's going to be a change to design and material. I can't do the work. clean up that.
Okay.
They look at it, they say, we have to change something.
Yeah, I have the list of the approved contractors through you guys.
Exterior side, we repaired, so you're talking about, I'm gonna read the whole thing.
Okay.
Record here, because it's on material that's existing, clean, unbroken interior, this side and trim deck was repaired, finally painted, including second floor, which can plate, paint all exterior walls, porch windows, trim, screen, sand, paint. No change in design, porch, remove all the type of structures, elements, structural elements, replace a new material that's existing, no change in design, place first floor, side, rear bay window, install. Bring passing the masonry to stock, trim pieces 2.2 by pine with door match 1 inch by 4 inch for flooring. Use 2 hinges on each door and paint exterior non-lead paint. Replace front left sunroom with roof style. Install concrete wash. Pocket equal tight. Attachment preservation. Small report. All of that would fit in the non-livability as long as nothing, no material change, no structural change. It change the type of wood you use.
Okay,
If they're fitting into some.
that's why it's the,
Or dimensions or.
Karen had given me a list of the, contractors who use to get their aware of all the specifications and.
But under non-applicability means it really doesn't have to be here. We're being more careful with these because sometimes people take non-applicability and think they do something they can't do.
Okay.
Which is why it's better for us to do. So if there's any change.
So it's before you got because the receiving city.
Right. Right, but I'm saying the reason I want to explain non-applicability is because we've done non-applicability and they've done something different than replace exactly with the same material. It's made of pine, placement. Column is round at 8 inches, bottom and 7 inches at top. Yes, just about 6.
And also just to explain the CPA program, this is a reimbursement program, so they have to do the work first and then they get paid for it. So if they do work that's not at here, then they will not receive funding.
Right, which is,
It's
even more. It's just even what they could, even more important that the non-applicability is explained, because you have to do the work and if you don't do it. If you don't do it correctly, then you're not gonna get the money.
One of the suggestions would be when you interview on the contractor, you ask them those things. This decision, the nice stuff that in the road has all the specifics on it.
Okay,
All of this should be in all your proposals.
I actually don't have a copy of that.
Okay.
You should.
Yeah, this is from the CPA. This is something that CPA saying.
I didn't get any of that.
So my suggestion would be when you interview the contractor, you can show them these things and you get a scope over back in the proposal. Get all of this, get into that. Then you'll know that it's compliant and whatever. Reading C and CPA. It'll be part of your scope.
Decision here.
What you got? Any other things we need to know?
No.
Do you understand what we're saying?
Yes.
So. Work.
I've been listening to you guys already.
I want you to.
I know for future if I want to do something.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, our thing is that what sometimes we want, we're gonna start reiterating more, trying to remind you every single meeting that if anything changes. it has to go forward. I believe this falls under non-applicability. It doesn't only the money. But it doesn't. I'm thinking about that money. That's just it's like be in trouble.
So not just that, but she was gonna sign work orders.
Right. It's-
Well, the contract, right?
Well, this is what, right, you have,
Well, you're the owner, so
the owners, yours has to look everything else, contractors. Make sure they know.
Well, I think that's why I was sent that list.
They
Go by.
right, that's correct. We can't do the issue. That has to go. But that's what they need to know. It can't be changed. It's not ability, everything fits that, and they do it that way. So, anyway, cashing that over more than once because you defer it. So, Two speakers. What do we have to go to do?
But they're gonna follow it.
Approval for now.
Do you guys recommend anyone?
We can.
Okay.
That's what I just said. So anyway, I entertain a motion to accept the application first. Nobody. We'll move. Right. Discussion? No? Really? I'm not trying to hang it out. The other way. Any discussion? None, hearing none, all in favor?
Yeah.
Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? The ayes have it. I may go back to the regular kind of, roll call vote, it's something more contentious.
I just wanted to point out, we're finished with here, I think, but, 263 Alden Street, so that's the Springfield College campus.
Yep.
I don't know what's here to petition for, but it's not like an antenna that's gonna sit on top of the building, it's just gonna be a large pole, like those large pole antennas.
Like a cell phone?
Yes, like basically like a tower. It's gonna be a cell phone tower on campus, so. I don't know whether or not you guys want somebody to be here, or if you guys could, or if you feel like it's. Would make an impact, but it's.
Right, thank you. Thank you so much. Well, we don't know where on the campus, what it's gonna look like.
They do that, you would throw it on the map.
Yeah. I think you took it back there. Here's Will.
So the star, this would be along King Street. Or somewhere off of King Street, but this is essentially where the star is, and where it would be located. It would be an area like I believe this is by their football field in this area.
Yeah. What's it look like? They had a track. Yeah, so it is. Tracks that understand. Right, so that. You're not gonna be able to repeat my rate, that's not right.
I don't know if we have.
There's no photo or anything, there's just locations.
Yeah,
Where
there's
it's gonna
location.
be, and
It's just the photo of it. I don't want a photo, but
Oh,
that.
yeah, they just went by there, is there?
That is. Eight, 7 feet high.
Well.
That can't be.
Yeah, they're pretty,
So you gotta get up. I don't know that.
Yeah.
So would you figure if this, does this have a detrimental impact to any historic?
It could.
Structures or,
College? No, what about the house? What's that? Yeah, go look out there. I mean, it's not a historic thing, it's a historic house. It's not this. Yeah. Those houses are remarkable, so. They're unbelievable. But since there's no. Historic district here for like map and all the those things back there.
Why is it, why is it not for us?
because it's a section 106, right? It's just, so it's whether or not you guys feel, I mean, as the other one. It was about the location of where it was in the roof and how visible it may be.
Yeah,
It was actually on
itself in the store.
and it was on a historic building. That's the other thing. This one here, again, I don't know.
We've done about a few of them that aren't in the historic buildings, just trying to see the historic neighborhoods, right? I think it's too bad they'll put one there, but I also don't see why we should have the same. So, if anybody else have any opinions on it, we can answer them right now then.
Or you can have no comment, so that essentially they can give a comment period, so if you guys feel like there's an adverse impact, or not, you can state that, but or you can just have.
So we could just have no opinion.
Well, you know, I like that better, because I think the better adverse.
Yeah.
This is potentially maybe not for the reasons that was evaluated.
Yeah.
So, I
We just have no comment.
Well, 260 Alden.
Thank you. Anyone second on that? Any discussion on that one? Favor? Aye. Opposed? Any extensions? I never gave you that option before. No problem, I didn't think that a few times. Okay, we're down to public speaking. Gary, you talking to us today?
I have a comment and a question.
Sure.
So my comment is, what a delight to see 6 commissioners here every time.
You said it.
Wonderful.
Harry.
Yeah,
You're full house.
I'm Harry Seymour, I'm 68 Washington Road, I guess I continue to say that. Yeah, and the other one, the question that I have is, when you look at the height of the balustrades for the porches, is there a different height requirement for a first floor porch than for a second floor porch?
The city requires if it's above 24 inches off of the ground, you must have a railing and that railing must have a certain height. So that's a safety issue by the city. I don't think it's for it.
Second floor porches are often, and the case that I'm actually thinking of, there's no door out to it, it's not used.
It's different.
It's decorative, right? A lot of second floor porches are like that. Do you have to have the same height requirement for?
That's a great question, but that would be a. Building quality. Usually under building code, it comes back to use that there's no door. I mean, if it's going to enter my logic tells me that it wouldn't be.
It's not a safety requirement, because no one's gonna be there.
Is there an historic common
If there's any guideline.
height for?
I would imagine they still wouldn't want it higher than. The bottom of the ranks.
What about lower? Because it's 36 by code, right? But it's 30 by it's historic.
It works, yeah.
Yeah.
Case by case, Harry, guys, you guys see it.
Well, this is, it depends on what it looks like.
Yeah.
There's some where they have.
You've already
Make it shrinking, it would look fine, but.
Yeah.
It sounds.
So do you have a project you're working on?
I'm not working on the project. It's my
So-
neighbor across the street.
So the areas are great.
It's
Tells it like it is when you have to, right?
all the meetings, I'll tell you, but it's very interesting and I thank you for your work. I know this is a lot to go through all the time, but.
Well, we have, because we were in late, we're all getting double time for.
I'll put it for double time. I can't wait to see myself in next week. It's not like, I think that's a really, you can't answer that question. I don't imagine.
There are actually some historic buildings in which the architects forced the perspective and made them deliberately shorter as they went up to make the building look higher.
Yeah.
So it can be whatever the architecture would appropriate. At least that's my thought.
That's my question, so that's an answer.
Yeah.
It's more than I had.
Yeah, okay, very good, thank you very much.
Yeah.
See you in a couple of weeks.
All in favor? Aye. I get it.